Welcome to the Ballers. We talk American sports, stuff that's happening, debates, all that fun stuff. And today we'll be talking about how we feel, like our top 5 rookie wide receivers and how we feel they'll perform this season. Starting off at number 5.
Who wants to go first here?
I guess I'll go first. At number 5, I have George Pickens. I believe he's a great fit with the Steelers, but his health is kind of shaky, and that's what's kind of concerning for me because he's never really been healthy in college, and he's
I
not
can see that.
producing at the same stats as Jameson Williams and Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, those type of guys. But I feel like he's a great fit for the Steelers. Quick and easy replacement for Juju, in my opinion.
Yeah,
His floor
that's
is
what I was
Juju.
thinking.
His
I feel
floor is
like-
Juju, and the sky's the limit for him. So
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think he was coming in to replace Juju and all that, but I have him as my number 4. I have Sky Moore as my number 5 because I think Sky Moore would be a great guy just to fill in and be a good slot. And
Yeah.
The thing about him, he would be higher, but he is competing for snaps with and touches.
He's in a very
with
deep
other
receiver
people.
room
yeah,
with Juju, Scantling, and Mecole Hardman. So it's not even a guarantee that he'll be an every down starting wide receiver.
But I feel like whenever he's
At
on
least
the
in year
field,
one.
he's gonna make plays, especially whenever you got a really good QB like Mahomes.
And you got
Anything
Patrick
happen.
Mahomes, yeah. You got Patrick Mahomes, you got a lot of potential. Now, a little bit back to what you said with Pickens. I like Pickens to the Steelers, but I'm just wondering if a rookie quarterback in a supposedly pretty weak quarterback class could make Pickens, show out.
Yeah.
Especially playing with a guy
Yeah.
like Chase Claypool and Freiermuth, who had a really good rookie season.
And then Johnson too. Can't forget about Johnson.
Yeah, Deontay.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
For my number 4, I have George Pickens. I just feel like George Pickens is gonna pick up a role like Juju, like Exposed said. I just have him at 4 in my personal opinion.
I would like to share my number 6 pick, even though it's not a top 5. I want to share my number 6.
Okay.
I believe my number 6 is gonna be Christian Watson, just because I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna make him into elite receiver just one day, but just not his rookie season. I'd say in his 3rd season he's gonna be a top 15, top 10 receiver because
About
his
Christian
upside is just so high.
About
Yeah.
Christian
I have,
Watson,
I have
him at
something with
3rd.
Watson, too.
Yeah.
I have him at 3rd because I just feel like Rodgers is just gonna target the young guy and just make him ball out. He's a healthy, good young receiver. He's tall. He's a bigger receiver. I just feel like he's gonna just take in that role of Adams and just go with it.
He just needs to
So I
work
have
on
him
his
at 3rd.
separation. Just separation. If Rodgers can give him the ball
Well, I feel
perfectly,
like
like he's
Rodgers
done
could
his whole
Help
career,
him with all that. I feel like Rodgers could help
I believe.
him with all that.
yeah.
That's what Rodgers does.
Mhm. Aaron Rodgers has made bad receivers look good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Devontae Adams did not start off. He started off one of the worst players.
Devontae Adams started off really slow.
Yeah.
So I got Christian Watson number 3. What about you?
All
Xander?
right.
Who do you got number 3?
Well, actually, taking a step back in time, at number 5, this is
Oh
a
my
very
God.
shocking pick that nobody has ever put in their top 5. Literally ever.
Okay.
The 258th pick in the draft,
Oh.
Samori Toure. He had, hear me out, at Nebraska, a very bad offense. He finished the year off with 898 yards and 8 touchdowns in a Nebraska offense. The year before, he played for Montana, in which he had 1,495 yards and 13 touchdowns in one season the year before. And he also set an FCS record for most receiving yards in a playoff game with 303 against Southeast Louisiana.
Who
That's
did you get
pretty
picked
good.
by?
The Packers. Not biased at all.
Yeah,
Not-
totally
Not at all.
biased.
No.
Alright,
Yes,
Not
yes,
at all.
yes.
No, no,
yes,
no.
yes.
No,
Alright,
just a touch. Just a
Xander, give
touch.
us your number 4. I don't think you said your number 4 yet.
Okay. Well, my number 4, I have Chris Olave. I think for his first year, he's he's not the number one guy there. He's got Michael Thomas, who will be coming back for the first time in 2 years. I got Olave because he ended his Ohio State career with the most receiving touchdowns in Ohio State history with 35. That's a lot of touchdowns.
That's over so many beasts too. Like,
yeah, I feel like he's gonna be like an end zone machine, sort of like what he was at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like that productivity, not being like double teamed or any of that.
Yeah.
So that's who I have at number 4.
Okay.
My number 3, I have Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Garrett Wilson was the last season like the best receiver in the class, playing at Ohio State, having 1,158 yards and 12 touchdowns. So more yards and more yards and just one less touchdown than Olave. And I feel like with the Jets, he's also in a situation with a young quarterback that could be like good. I mean, we've seen throws from Zach Wilson throughout his development where he's looked good.
He had flashes
like he's looked
of,
like a good quarterback.
Pretty good, yeah.
You can see his arm. You can see that he has arm talent. If he puts it together,
And
that'll
he
be
could
really
scramble if he needs to, or throw on the run. We've seen it happen.
good. His pro day, going back to his Zach Wilson's pro day from last year, that was amazing. So he can make the throws. He just needs to develop it a little bit.
Same thing
I
with
also feel
Zach
like
Wilson.
he doesn't have the time in the pocket.
Well, same thing with Zach Wilson. In the first 8 games, he's thrown, I believe, 11 picks, right? In the first 8 games, but in the last 5 games, he ain't thrown none. I feel like he is on the rise instead of, say, what's his name, North Carolina quarterback, Sam Howell.
Howell.
He progressively got worse instead of Zach Wilson just getting better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing with Garrett Wilson is that he kind of like with Sky Moore, not to the same degree, but he's not just like the only receiver there that will get like double teamed and whatnot. Like they have a lot of depth at receiver. They still got Corey Davis. They got Jamison Crowder. They got Elijah Moore, who looked really good in his rookie year. They drafted Jeremy Ruckert, who I think is going to be a good tight end. They signed CJ Uzama. I'm pretty sure they also brought in the Conklin guy from Minnesota, their tight end last year. So they have guys who can catch the ball to kind of distract and leave Garrett Wilson open.
Yeah.
So that's who I got.
Well, I'm going to go with my number 2 pick. My number 2 pick is going to be Jamison Williams. And originally I had him at number 4, but I thought about it just a tad bit because I don't think Jamison Williams needs a quarterback per se, because I feel like he makes plays, not necessarily like a receiving guy. Well, of course he's a receiving guy, but he just makes
like
plays on his own.
Or like a utility guy?
Or just give him the ball type guy. He's gonna make a play.
Just like
Jamar
or
Chase.
Something like that.
Jamar Chase. He's gonna take something to the house at will, because he's that fast, that shifty, and honestly, like I think that he's gonna have an 1,000+ yard season this year. With Jared
That
Goff.
would be really hard though, because he'd play half the year with Jared Goff. I don't see that happening because he's still recovering from an ACL tear.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna miss the first 3 games. And I think he's gonna be that good to get 1,000
games
yards.
after tearing his ACL that late.
He's projected to come back week 2.
Yeah, he's gonna come back kind of early.
Well, that's a really
it
that's a really
depends.
early projection, I feel, for an ACL tear.
It depends what's his name.
Well, people were
Personality.
thinking about
Their
that
coach
about
wants to
Jalen
put him.
Waddle, and then Jalen Waddle broke records. Broke the most receptions.
Yeah, but
And
also
people
people were saying that about Carson Wentz.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you got a point. Me personally, I think he's gonna come back early.
I think
I think
my
he's gonna
number
come
3,
back
I have Jamison Williams. I just think Jamison Williams would be hired, just like Xander just said. He got injured, so we don't know what's gonna happen.
All right. So, let's go to our number 1s. All right.
Well, wait, hold
Number
on. Let me
two.
say my number
Or
two.
no, number two. My bad. I skipped.
Number 2, I got Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Your
Yeah,
reasoning?
just the same reason as Xander. Just I would
Yeah,
have
he's
Jameson
just-
over him. Just Jameson gets hurt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Did you already say your second, Xander, or no?
I'll go mine. For my second, I got Christian Watson. So Christian Watson played at North Dakota State. Okay, that's not a flashy school. And you look at his stats, he only had 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. Okay, that does not look impressive.
Run heavy
He is-
school.
That's what I'm getting to. His quarterback threw for 1,444 yards on the year. So Watson had about half of the quarterback's passing yards, and Watson had more receiving yards than the next 3 receivers combined on his team. Oh, also, the North Dakota State ran the ball over 660 times on the year. And you are giving Aaron Rodgers a 6'4" wide receiver who runs a 4.36.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
It's that simple.
Well, I had him at number 5, I believe. So, no, I had him at number 4.
He can be anywhere, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be trash, but he can be from an above average receiver to a top 5 receiver. That's just how
Mhm.
like unknown that like he is. His floor is
Yeah.
kind of low, but his ceiling
Ceiling's
is
real high.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like he'll be able to unlock that with Aaron Rodgers, especially being like a big time. Like
Well, I think he's gonna
he'll
turn
be
into-
targeted.
I think he's going to turn into like a bigger Odell, like just a shifty guy, a shifty, fast guy, just a bigger Odell type guy.
A bigger what era Odell? Because
Like,
there's multiple era
rookie-
Odells that are
rookie.
rookie
Oh.
Odell. That is just Jamar Chase.
I mean,
that's
I
just
would
Jamar Chase.
I would not be complaining.
Yeah.
Because that's what I feel like he's going to turn into. Is just a rookie Odell Beckham Jr. And because I just think he's just going to be a bigger Odell Beckham Jr. Because we've seen it in college. He's a real shifty guy, and he can. And if he wants to go over top people, he will. He's not afraid to.
He's got this.
And it's like the same thing with Jamison Williams. If you give him the ball, he's gonna take it to the house, like very consistently.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm
Yeah.
guessing all of our number 1s are the same.
No,
Probably not.
no.
Yeah,
Start
I'll go
off with
first.
you, Kill.
Drake London. He's
Oh.
other than Kyle Pitts, he is the only receiver threat there. Other than Kyle Pitts, man.
That's a
So
good
it's
point.
gonna be Kyle Pitts, which we already seen. He only had 1 touchdown this year, so they're gonna be looking for London to do a lot for them, and I feel like London's gonna produce. And I feel like Mariota is gonna just feed London the ball.
See, I don't think London would even be a top 5 receiver. Not with Mariota. Mariota being just a more like run heavy
What about
quarterback.
the QB that they drafted, Riddler or whatever his name is? Or Ryder.
sucks.
He sucks. Ryder, yeah. Good job.
Flynn Rider.
Is he worse?
God.
Is he worse than Mariota?
Yes.
Oh, by a mile.
Yes.
They just drafted him to be
He's
a
not that good.
backup. He's not good.
Oh.
He even said he's
like
the best
him.
quarterback
It
in the
was-
draft.
Chosen
It was
Rosen.
fun watching him in the playoffs, but he's not that good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who you got going number 1? Xander.
Well, this is an interesting one that I bet Exposed doesn't have. I have Traylon Burks being the number 1
Whoa,
wide
I
receiver
like
this
it.
year.
I like it.
I don't like that. Just
me
because
out.
Ryan Tannehill. That is the
He-
sole reason
no.
why.
Hear me out though.
Okay.
Traylon Burks, coming out of the draft, was heavily compared to A.J. Brown. Who did the Titans get rid of? A.J.
A.J.
Brown.
Brown to the
A.J.
Eagles,
Brown
right?
as a rookie had A.J. Brown as a rookie had 869 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm expecting if he's he's a very comparable guy to Traylon Burks is a very comparable guy to A.J. Brown, that he'll put up a similar season to that. as a rookie.
I could see where you're coming from. I just think
Because he'll play the same
Yeah.
exact role as AJ Brown.
he's gonna play the
Yeah,
same role.
but
I
you
just
gotta think
don't
about
think.
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
in my opinion, Derrick Henry's gonna go for an MVP season this year, and they're just gonna feed the dude. Even though that he's coming off of injury, he played in the playoffs, and he has all off season to be 100%. They're gonna be feeding Derrick Henry. I can see Traylon Burks going off of streak routes and slant routes. That's all.
Well, I think it's gonna be super tough for him to produce because of Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. And people
Yeah.
might think Ryan Tannehill isn't bad. He is terrible. Honestly, I think he's a
Without
bottom
Derrick Henry-
5 quarterback in the league.
It's because
Like, in my
he
opinion.
relies on his run game. In my opinion, he
Yeah.
relies on his run game. That's all it is.
Without
He
without
needs
Derrick
Derrick
Henry, he
Henry.
can't throw.
With Derrick Henry, he's a very decent quarterback. Without Derrick Henry, though, when you have to rely on Tannehill to win you a game, that's when it gets tough.
Which that's
Because
why
when
I'm,
you have Henry,
that's why
you
I'm
put
excited
everybody in the
for.
box.
I really want Tannehill to fail, so we can see what Malik could do in that system. Like that really opens up the read option because Malik is
Now,
a shifty
okay.
guy.
Okay. Previously, I did say Malik Willis is the best quarterback in the class. And I looked back and I looked at his film. He's not NFL ready.
You don't think so?
And
Exactly. That's what a lot of people have been saying.
to like, in my opinion, now the best quarterback in the draft. I looked at mostly everybody's film,
Kenny
except
Pickett.
who's the no. I think it's Corral. I think it's Corral.
Corral? I
Yeah,
can see
Kenny
that,
Pickett.
though.
Kenny Pickett, great at throwing. Matt Corral, similar. Now, Kenny Pickett, can he get out the pocket? Yes, he can get out the pocket. Matt Corral, he can do it better. Plus, I believe Corral's just more accurate and has a stronger arm. That's just that.
That makes sense though.
The sole reason why he didn't go where Pickett went is because he got hurt in the bowl game. He got hurt
Yeah.
in the bowl game, and his health is like questionable right now. All right.
Yeah. Wait, so
Well-
Express, who do you have as your number one receiver? You did not say yours.
I have Garrett Wilson as my number one receiver, just because I think really do truly believe that Zach Wilson is gonna have a breakout year and become top 15, top 10 quarterback in the league.
A top 10?
Top 10?
Yes.
On the coming
Top-
coming
okay.
in-
Top 10, like this year, there were debates for guys like Derek Carr, Matthew Stafford.
He's gonna have like a Derek Carr
those
year.
type of
yes.
guys.
Mhm.
as
Yes.
good as Derek Carr. Derek Carr had a really good year.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like the Jets
off of
drafted
his rookie
so good, and he had even in the late round picks, he has so many weapons, and his offensive line is buffed up. I feel like him and his coach are gonna have a breakout year. That's just me. I know it's kind of a hot take,
I mean,
but he's gonna have. I'd say he'd either be
if
10, 11, 12.
if anyone could help him, LaFleur would help him. So makes sense. No, Matt LaFleur is their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Psych Jets fans, you thought you had.
You know what was crazy?
Oh wait,
That
I meant to say
Washington-
Mike LaFleur. I meant to say Mike LaFleur, not Matt LaFleur. Hold up.
That's
That's
the reason
why
I
I
was
was
kind
so
of confused.
confused.
Psych
no.
Jets fans, you thought you had Matt LaFleur for a second.
Why not? You know who was a crazy guy that never produced? I mean, a crazy team that never really did anything? Was the Washington...
The Patriots.
Oh my god. No, like, early 2010 Washington. They had Matt LaFleur. They had Kyle Shanahan. They had...
Maybe because they were all like
all of them
punter
guys.
coaches.
No,
Yeah, that too.
no, I'm pretty sure
Like,
McVay
what are
was
they
the
gonna
offensive
do?
coordinator, too.
I think one of them was the offensive coordinator.
It was-
Yeah, it was
McVay.
McVay. And then...
Floor was like the quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, he was the tight ends coach. Tight ends. He
Um,
struggled.
I know a DB who has not struggled. I believe Henry
Marshawn
Ruggs
Lattimore.
as a safety.
My
Yeah.
God.
He's really safe. You know. And
Yeah.
and he runs
Henry
really
Ruggs
fast,
is
like
good.
156 miles an hour.
About
Henry
100,
Ruggs
right?
go
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
And he does the
And
Corvette
his hits are
with
really
Juju a
his
lot.
hits are really deadly.
So fucked. God.